About a year and a half ago, I put out a video where I ranked my 10 favorite Nirvana guitars in my collection. But my newest Nirvana guitar right here has got me thinking about redoing and updating that list. This thing is an absolute beast and I have not been able to put it down. I'm still pinching myself that it's real and that it's here. Of the many high flyers Kurt Cobain played throughout his career, his Phase 1 Custom has always been my favorite. He used it in two different forms. At Argentina in October 92, it had a Seymour Duncan JB and its stock white tuners. By Saturday Night Live in September 93, the JB had been swapped out for a DiMarzio Super II and the tuners were upgraded to Grover Rotomatics. I love the Argentina show, but I already have so many JB Nirvana guitars as it is that it was an easy decision to go with the SNL route for my high flyer. This is a late 60s Phase 1 custom high flyer modded specifically after SNL with a vintage Super II humbucker, Ibanez Gibraltar bridge, locked tremolo with the arm mount removed, Grover Rotomatic tuners, and in the neck position I've got a DiMarzio PAF. That is a super quick overview of the specs of Kurt's Phase 1 and what went into my build here to make it 1-for-1 to Kurt's. Check out the video that is linked here if you want to learn more details. Since that video, I have done two visual changes to my high flyer. One that you probably noticed right away, and the other one you'd probably never know if I didn't point it out. For the obvious one, I replicated the tape look that Kurt had at SNL. It was really important to me that I can still use the neck pickup, so I tried to make discreet little cuts where the switches are still usable without disrupting the overall taped down look. For the more hidden change, I added side fret dots. I think it's a thing that actual vintage high flyers don't have any dots, and trust me, for accuracy's sake, I tried to brave this, but I just couldn't. Go ahead haters, call me weak if you want, but it felt like driving in a heavy snowstorm where you can't see the lines and you just have to guess where you are. These little white fret dots have cleared that metaphorical road for me. There's no looking back and I'm much happier having the dots on here. Okay, time to let this beauty do the rest of the talking now. In this video, I will be demoing my high flyer by attempting to recreate Kurt's most well-known live Phase 1 custom tones, respectively the aforementioned Argentina and Saturday Night Live tones. There's one thing I want to do first before we get to those. Whenever I have a high flyer in my hands that's tuned a half step down, this is always the very first thing I want to play on it. That is so satisfying to play on this guitar. That wasn't a serious tone recreation attempt or anything, that was just me playing through one of the best Nirvana songs for fun. But if you do want to see my serious tone recreation of You Know You're Right, that video is linked right here. Okay, so back to the Phase 1 custom shows. We're gonna go in chronological order, so let's start with Argentina. What I have in my high flyer is obviously the wrong pickup for this show. Kurt's had a JB at the time, but this Super II is becoming one of my favorite pickups, period. It's super versatile, and I feel like it can get pretty close to the sound of Kurt's JB at this show. Is it perfect? No, it's not, but it gets a lot closer than I expected it to. That's why I feel like this is worth including in this video. For this tone, I'm using my Nerdvana Paramount tube preamp pedal, which is a pedal version of the clean section of the Mesa Boogie Studio Pre, the Mesa Boogie 5-band EQ pedal, my 90s Boss DS2, and 90s Electro Harmonix small clone. All of that is going into my Mooer cab IR loader pedal, and I'm using IRs of Celestion G12T-75 speakers. Kurt's Argentina tone is probably in my top 3 for favorite live Nevermind era tones if I had to make a weirdly specific list like that. In the fall of '91, what most people think of when they think of Kurt's live Nevermind era sound, I would describe Kurt's tone as very bitey and aggressive, especially when he was playing his strats. The high end was piercing, but not in an unpleasant way. But by the summer of '92, like at Reading, it's like the opposite, where his tone was really thick, chunky and super mid-heavy. I've always viewed Argentina as like the perfect blend of these two tones. The mids have been dialed back, but not by that much. The crunchy Fall 91 twang is back, but again, not by that much. It's a great halfway point between those two, which makes it a really fun tone. And now for Saturday Night Live 1993, the show in which this guitar is modeled after. For this tone, I am again using my Nerdvana Paramount Mesa Boogie 5-band EQ pedal, but what's different is I'm now using my 1993 Sansamp, PastFX Polyflange and Echoflanger, and an IR of a Marshall cab loaded with V30 speakers. The first thing I want to point out is that, to me, I think this is a really tricky tone to recreate, because the guitars on all the available sources are just not 100% clear. To my ears, Kurt's guitar, and especially Pat's guitar, sounds like there's almost a layer of fog in front of them, especially on Waif Me. I've always chalked this up to the broadcast mix just being kind of weird and uneven. Even the band themselves didn't like this mix, going as far as to fire their longtime live sound engineer Craig Montgomery over it, who in reality had nothing to do with the TV broadcast mix. All he did was the in-house mix for the live studio audience. We have NBC's house engineers to thank for the final broadcast mix. Craig had been with the band since the Bleach touring days, so it's a bummer of a situation to have come out of such an epic and now iconic performance. When I posted my full heart-shaped box SNL cover, I had someone comment, "Your tone is off because it's too clean. The actual guitars sound more dull." And that's fair, I actually agree. At one point, I was trying to remove a bunch of high-end in post to replicate that dull broadcast sound. But then I was like, I am objectively making my guitar sound worse right now. It almost feels like an injustice to how good this Hi Flier is sounding right now. I don't even know if this is worth it. So here's my take on Kurt's SNL tones if the guitars were mixed a little more clearly. Maybe we'll get a broadcast remix for Neutro's like 50th or 60th anniversary that is more true to how the guitars actually sounded in person. This tone is so good that I can't just leave you with these two songs. I gotta throw some more in. In every scenario, Nirvana for sure plays Heart-Shaped Box. That was the lead single at the time. But here's what Kurt's guitar might have sounded like had Nirvana picked a different in utero track to play second. Do you see what I mean by this Super II being super versatile? And it pairs so beautifully with the neck PAF. I've been finding myself using both pickups on at once just as much as I'm using the Super II on its own. I hope you enjoyed hearing this grail of a Hi Flier play through some Nerdvana tones. Let me know in the comments which tone in this video was your favorite, and what riffs, tones, and what if scenarios that you'd like to see this phase 1 tackle in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and an extra special shout out to my Patreon supporters. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Nerdvana Guitars. Subscribe right here on YouTube for more weekly Nerdvana gear videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one.